Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a really great day. As you can see, Jack and Jess have popped over and we're just going to have a little chat about evangelism. As you guys know, I am an evangelist. I love to share my faith. That's what I'm super passionate about. And growing up for me, evangelism, sharing my faith, was actually quite difficult. I felt a lot of pressure. I needed to get somebody from a 1 to a 10 in order for that to be successful. Actually, evangelism, sharing your faith, is sometimes getting someone from a 2 to a 3 or a 5 to a 6, putting your faith on display in your everyday. So I guess we're just going to have a little bit of a chat about what that looks like for each of us in our daily lives.
I think for me, like when we think of the word evangelism, like straight away we think about what we say, and I used to feel like a massive pressure of how do I get everyone in my life sat down and I tell them the story of Jesus and like explain the gospel fully. But how something that I've learned actually is that it's so much about my lifestyle. Like I can evangelise through the way that I live, and that is almost like a backup to then what I say maybe later on to someone.
So good.
So an attitude that I'm trying to have in situations is, how can I be the best I can be in this situation?
Right.
So for example with work, like I might not be able to tell people about Jesus fully, but how can I be the best person in that workplace? How can I work my hardest, and almost that be a way of showing my faith, so that when it does come up, it's like, oh, like this faith actually does affect her life. Like I can see the difference in the way that she treats people, or in the way that she engages with customers, like that kind of thing. And I think for you guys, like maybe you're at school or college, like how can you be the best person you can be in that place as well? And maybe not like a pressurising thing of always getting it perfect, but how can you always strive to be the best you can be? And I think that's something that I've definitely learned of, that actually has a massive impact on people.
Totally. I found that within my friendships, being the best friend that I can be. And for example, one of my closest friends, one of my best friends, she happens to be my hairdresser. Shout out to Jo. She is amazing, one of my favourite people in the world. We've been friends since we were 12, 13 years old, growing up together. But she only became a Christian a few weeks ago, and it's been a real journey for her. And for me as a friend, it's been, how can I be the best friend I can be? How can I show Jesus and his love through my actions? And actually, like you said, then comes the words often. And so there have been loads of times for me in our friendship where she may have been going through a difficult time, and I can give my own perspective on that. I can share how I would deal with the situation, what a difference faith makes in my life. I also think when it comes to friends asking questions about your life, about your decisions, about practical things like what you've been up to at the weekend, sometimes we can really shy away from saying we've been at church, or we've been at youth group, or we've been away at a camp. And actually for me it's just being really transparent, really authentic, sharing my faith. And actually when questions arise, and they will arise, being ready just to give an answer for the faith and the hope that I have in Jesus. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, well I think on the lines of talking about friendships and that kind of thing, I think you mentioned sometime about how you need to treat people like people and not like projects. And I know for me in my life, I've got a lot of friends who aren't Christians, but I don't see them. The trick is to not go, right, these are projects, I need to convert them, I need them to become Christians, that kind of thing, I need to tick the box, and then that's cool, that's the only reason why I'm hanging out with them. Actually, you want to become friends with people and treat them like friends, treat them like people, because they are people, they're not your projects. And God's not asked us to treat people like projects, he's asked us to love one another genuinely, and you can't you can't love people if you're not treating them like an actual person. Do you know what I mean? And for me, like I know one of my friends, he was a Christian growing up, and then kind of he hit secondary school, walked away from God, didn't just was not interested at all, got involved in really dangerous things that brought harm to him and other people, and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe a couple of years ago he just messaged me saying, oh mate, I really miss you, let's hang out, let's grab a coffee. And I was like, cool, let's do that. So we met up, we had a coffee, and I didn't treat him like, I wasn't going, oh, here's the Bible, like trying to hit him with the gospel or anything like that. I wasn't trying to I wasn't treating him like a project. I wasn't going, I'm just doing this I'm here to convert you, that kind of thing. I'm here to just be a friend and to have a relationship with you, because that's what Jesus calls us to do. And just gradually, as we just started talking through things, he already knew that I was a Christian. Yeah. Just talking through things, he was like, actually, I think I want to become a Christian again. So can we process that and journey that together? Totally. And just through me being a friend, just me showing love, just being like Jesus. Yeah. Made him think, actually, I want to reconsider this. Maybe I want to become a Christian again, and kind of change the way I live. So it's about being a friend first.
Totally,
really?
I totally agree.
Definitely.
And I think in regards to our actions, they do make really significant impressions on people. Yeah. When I was at college, for example, I was part of a friendship group, and none of them were Christians. And I'm sure maybe some of you can really sympathise and understand what that's like. And so for me, from day one of going to college, I just remember thinking, I'm going to make a stand for my faith. And actually I'm going to make a stand for my faith in the decisions that I make. And so I just decided that I wasn't going to swear. Definitely slipped up on that sometimes, but I made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to use really foul language. When they were all going out and going to drink and maybe get into some unhealthy situations and relationships, I made conscious decisions. Okay, I might go out for one drink, but then I'm going to head home. And actually those actions really invited questions. And so there were really interesting questions that happened in the canteen, on the way to college, on the bus. Some of my friends who were going through a difficult experience, or maybe a parent was ill, they actually would come to me and say, I don't believe this, but I know that you believe in the power of prayer. Could you pray for my mum or my friend? And actually that invited loads of questions. And so actually I think sometimes we think that our friends are really uninterested in faith. We did a bit of research within Youth for Christ a few months ago, and it showed that 68% of young people know an active Christian, and 1 in 6 of those people want to know more about Jesus, but only 35% of Christian young people know how to share their faith. And actually I just really encourage you guys to put your faith on display in your everyday. Share the gospel with people when the opportunity arises, but make sure you are a really, really great friend. That's super important, and God can use you in your setting, in your schools, in your communities, in your colleges. And we wholeheartedly believe in evangelism from a platform inviting people to say yes to Jesus, but there are definite moments for that. Actually, we need to be putting Jesus on display in every situation, every area of our lives.
I heard somebody say once that the world's not going to get changed by a bunch of preachers. It's going to get changed by every Christian going, right, I'm going to play my part and live like Jesus. It's not about the big stage stuff. It's about actually living your life and being a good friend and being there for people and helping people and offering to pray for people. It's just people playing their part in their everyday.
100%. I think something that really astounded me when I actually got to grips with it was that Jesus took a bunch of teenagers and they changed the world. They changed the world. We're here as a result of the very first disciples who started the church. And so I guess just to encourage you guys that if Jesus can take a bunch of teenagers to change this planet, he can use you in your world to change your world. So just be super encouraged. I hope this has helped you. I hope we've been really frank. We want to be honest in these vlogs and share some of our stories and things that have happened in our lives. But we have seen incredible things happen to our friends when we have been authentic and real and shared our faith in the everyday. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.